check this out. We about to have another one.
God damn, you on fire tonight, boy.
There's a video that's going viral from Joy Taylor and Taylor Rook's podcast, Too Personal. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
The splitting the bill conversation. Do we pay for the men? When do we pay for the men? A friend of mine was on her dating journey and she went out with a man twice. He paid for everything, wined and dined. On the third date, they spent a day together, ordered a bunch of things, had some drinks, had a good time. Let's call it a couple $100. She had to put her card down for this particular place. So when they went to pay, he was like, oh, your card is down. And now she didn't speak up and ended up paying for the bill. They had plans for another date. He texted her the next day and was like, I don't really see a long-term future with you. I don't really want to waste either of our times. I think you're great, but I don't want to keep our date for next week that we had planned, which I think is very respectable. Most people just ghost. So she's talking to me about it. And she's like, but he did stick me with the bill. I was like, what are you talking about, stuck you with the bill? How did you leave paying? I was like, just text him and say, oh, okay, well, cool. Thank you for saying that. Had a great time too. But here's your split for Saturday. There's no possible way he thinks that she's just paying for his presence. He got upset, did not send her the split, and in fact went and sent her the receipts for the last 2 dates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back. It's a new day. We thank the good Lord. It's a new day. Thank God it's a new day. And it's so good to see you. Yes, you, and you. It's me, WJ, on our channel, One Life, Many Seasons. We got something good here. Interesting. This is Shannon Sharpe. If you don't know who Shannon is, you can Google him. He's a very popular guy. He has his own show. But this particular show, I believe he's on with Ocho, show called Nightcap. I think it's actually Ocho's show, and then he comes on or they collab together. Someone actually sent me this clip because this has to do with, relationship, love, and all that. And I love love, especially if it's a good one. And I'm very passionate about, seeing relationships actually be successful. So this is just a little clip out of a main video, just specifically talk about a whole bunch of things. But this specific one was actually talking about, in summary, how do we split the bill? The popular conversation that we hear, which to me is just, I have my own little 2 cents to put in there, but let's just keep on listening. If you have any comments, obviously throw them in the comment section below. Let's have the discussion so we can get this thing right. I think there's a whole lot of things just off, in my opinion. But hey, that's just my humble opinion. So let's keep on listening. Shannon and Ocho on Ocho's, I think this show, collab show, Nightcap. And then just listen to what they think about what those two ladies was talking about.
Ocho. So let me get this straight.
Ooh.
He pays for both two.
Yes, sir.
Nothing. She don't chime in.
Yeah.
She didn't speak up. But now, I stuck him for 2 bills. He stuck me for 1. Now
Right.
we need to go 50-50?
Oh, yeah. Listen, the game is the game. The game is.
Did I hear that, chat? Did I hear that right? Chat, are y'all hearing what I heard? He paid for the first 2 dates. She paid for the third date.
Yeah.
He doesn't see anything long-term coming of it.
Right.
He says, you know what? I don't want to waste any of your time. More importantly, I don't want to waste my time. So it was great, but I no longer want to, okay, fine. But he stuck me, but you stuck it with the first 2.
Yeah.
And you ain't have no problem with that.
Listen, again, the game is the game. And obviously when you're dating someone, there's a 3-date minimum. After the 3rd date, you know whether you want to deal with this person long-term or if you see a future with them. He didn't see a future. That's okay. And if it was just a couple of $100, I mean, you really shouldn't need that back anyway. And if you need a couple of $100 back on a date, that means you shouldn't. You don't need to be on a date. You don't need to be on no date. You don't need to be dating at all. If you got to send somebody a receipt to send you back what you spun, you not supposed to be dating. Because obviously, when I think of dating, it's the joining of two to build a foundation based on what both of y'all got going on. That's tough.
Well. Like I said, this is part of a main. Might just throw up the link up there somewhere, and you could go see the whole thing if you would like to see it. But I just wanted to focus just on um, that clip, just the one specifically on splitting the bill conversation, and just kind of give my own little 2 cents and what I think, my perspective on that. First of all, in my opinion, humble opinion, I think one of the problems is we've made this whole going on dates thing transactional. We are so focused on who's paying for what, who should be paying, who's doing what. It's so transactional. And I think that's a very, very bad recipe for relationship and for marriage mindset. It's not healthy. And may I say, let me first, for me, I like to establish things. So I think there's a difference between going on a date and actually dating someone. They're two different things. You could go on a date with anyone, but when you're dating someone, it becomes exclusive, right? You see a future, you see something here. So if you're going on a date and your expectation is this person pays this person, first of all, you have to be careful who you're going on dates with to begin with. Let's start from there. Maybe that's where the initial problem is. We're just so quick to just date people, take them out on dates. I mean, before you even consider dating them, because of our lust and not just something practical, something tangible, something that makes sense. Let me take another step back for me. There is a difference between a man and the man, just like there's a difference between a woman and the woman. So, to put it in context, you go on dates with a man and a woman. You date the man and the woman. That's your difference right there. And quite frankly, when you are dating someone, for me, that shouldn't even be a problem. Who's paying for what? I don't think the man would have a problem with someone who he wants to spend the rest of his life with, taking them out on their date, dating someone, your woman, your man exclusively. Honestly, it wouldn't really matter who should be paying at that point because you are both bought into um, what this is all about, which is you're seeing a future with each other. Now, all this random dates and all this sporadic, uh, dates just happening all over the place, and you expect people to be paying all over that is too much expectation of people. My suggestion when you meet someone, in my opinion, when you try to get to know, start it light. Maybe go on a coffee date. I know people may oppose to that. It's really, for me, you have to be comfortable with someone to actually be taking them out, bringing them into your life. And, at any point, if you don't feel comfortable, you should be okay to cut it off. So a man, the man, a woman, the woman. We get that concept. That's where I would start. Who should be paying? It wouldn't be a problem if you are actually dating someone and going out with them. So this is you exclusively. It wouldn't be a problem. Mostly, obviously, men would put up we usually would take the responsibility for that. But it's okay if your woman decides, hey, this is my man. I want to treat him. There's nothing wrong with that. But someone you're just getting to know, to me, I think that's part of getting to know someone because I feel like back in the day when I would go on a date, if you go with someone constantly and they don't even offer to do something, it just makes me feel like they are just going to be a liability. I don't like to be around people that don't think about people around them. And that's a sign for me. Now, you don't necessarily have to pay for it because I probably most would say, object to you doing it, but at least I want to see you want to do it. That tells me something, you know. So the other thing too is we have to date with intentionality. I'm sure most of us have heard that. So for me, I don't splitting the bill conversation only comes when you're just dating. You're going on dates and it's just not nothing serious. So you guys can work that out. I don't really believe in splitting. Someone would take the responsibility. Most of the time, the guy would. But it's okay. If this is just going on dates, it's okay. But if you're dating someone, it shouldn't even matter because you're getting yourselves ready for the future. That's my understanding. So think of it. When you get married, you're going to be doing things together. You wouldn't even really matter. So you also want to see that side of both sides, the man and the woman, that you both care for each other. And you should never be afraid if you're uncomfortable with who you're going on dates with. You go on multiple dates and you're not comfortable. It's okay. You can cut it off. Be nice about it. Okay. I don't subscribe to being rude, ghosting people. No, come up and say, hey, you know what? This is not working out. And it's okay for it not to work out. Because at the end of the day, you want to be in a relationship you're comfortable with. But for me, this whole split and bill thing, it just it takes the fun out of it and it makes it so transactional. It's almost like you paying, and especially if they are not dating with intentionality or trying to do it the right way, doing it the godly way, which is not engaging in certain things like sexual practices, right? Because it's almost like you pay me and then we're going to do this afterwards. When did this become a transaction? It just sounds so transactional. And there's something that came to my mind while I was listening to this too. A lot of times you hear a lot of people, I'm independent. You hear from women, you hear from men. I'm independent. I'm independent. I'm a man of my own. I'm a woman of my own. Well, going on dates is the time to prove that. You're independent. Independence is for your single life. Enjoy it. But when you come to marriage and relationships, it transitions from independence to codependence. So you got to start getting yourself ready for that because you're going to be co-mingling a lot of things, intermingling. A lot of things are going to be done together. So you got to start getting away from that mindset. So if it's not a serious relationship, first and foremost, I say cut it off. Just cut it off. But if you're trying to figure out what to do, I mean, you have to be able to come up and say exactly how you feel about the relationship. That's part of it. Because again, remember, you date someone, you go on dates, you start dating them, you court them, whatever, engage, and then you get married. That's typically the flow of things. So you don't want to waste your time. You don't want somebody to waste your time, and you don't want to waste somebody else's time. That's a lot of time invested in that. So at some point when you feel uncomfortable, my suggestion is you cut it off. But do not use somebody else. Again, going back to this splitting the bill conversation, I think it only comes up when people are not serious. It's not anything serious. They just trying to use each other. That's what it comes down to for me. Because if it's really something serious, what does it matter who pays for it? Because more often than not, and most likely, a man who's into a woman would, step up and do what he needs to do. And if for whatever reason at that point, maybe it was a abrupt, random date they had to go on, unplanned, and he didn't have it, and she'd be okay to foot the bill. This becomes a problem when it's not a relationship worth investing in. When it's not something you want to spend your time on. Think about it. You're already getting worried. Just going on dates. You're not even dating them. You're just going on dates and you're already having problems about who's paying for what. Oh my goodness. So that's my perspective. But always remember, I remember when Pastor said this many years ago, and I will never forget it. Marriage is a beautiful thing. You should get married. But take your time. Pray about it. Take your time. Because it's always better to be alone than to be married trying to be alone again. So take your time, pray about it, seek wisdom, and make sure you have peace in your mind in whatever decision you decide to make. Let me know what you think. That's my perspective on this. Again, if you'd like to see Shannon, Sharpe, and Ocho, you can go on their stuff on Nightclub. I don't typically watch it. Someone sent me the clip, and I wanted to just give my own 2 cents on that. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comment section below. I'd like to know what you think. And let's have the conversation. Let's have the discussion. Again, for me, it's not even an issue. It shouldn't be a discussion if it's something serious. It only becomes a discussion because it's not something serious. It becomes transactional, and transactional is dangerous. Bad recipe for relationship and marriage, ultimately. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to this family. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you've been back before, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hey, all we're trying to do is to have fun and spread positivity into this chaotic world and to learn from one another. That's why we're here. I'm here because of you. We're here because of each other. Hey, you know how we like to close it out on this channel before we go? We like to remind ourselves. We remember, we got one life with many seasons. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. You take care now. Bye-bye.